This is not a video telling you to wake up at 5 a.m. For most of us, waking up at 5 a.m. comes at the cost of our sleep, which is just not worth it. But when you make the choice to wake up an hour or even 30 minutes earlier, you're making the conscious decision to wake up on your own terms and not because you have to rush off to work. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sanji. I'm a second year medical student studying at the University of Melbourne. So in this video, we're going to go through 5 reasons why you should wake up early. But on the other hand, if you want to find out some reasons why you shouldn't wake up at 5 a.m, click on the card up there. So the first benefit is that you have more time to yourself in the morning. The fact of the matter is that most of us don't really get to choose when we get to wake up, especially when we have kids. And so once again, this isn't a video telling you to wake up at 5 a.m. We know that getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day is critical for our health. Sleep is essential for students because this is the time when our brains flush away toxins and consolidates all the memories and all the things that we've learned during class. And speaking from experience, I used to be someone who would roll out of bed every morning, brush my teeth, and then eat my breakfast on the way to uni. I felt like crap every morning and I wouldn't have any energy at all until my coffee kicked in. But then I chose to wake up an hour earlier than I did normally. So instead of waking up at 7, I woke up at 6. And I also made sure that I went to bed an hour earlier so I would still get that 7.5 hours of sleep. And that hour gave me time to have a nice warm shower in the morning, do some stretches, go for a quick jog, and have a relaxed and healthy breakfast. And honestly, it gave me a lot of energy, knowing that I was waking up and tackling life on my own terms. And on top of that, the slow, relaxed start to the day put me in a better mood and helped me deal with any stresses that I was feeling about uni or life in general. And if you get out of the house a little bit earlier, you can beat the traffic as well. It is so much nicer to drive on an empty freeway, just listening to some Khalid or a podcast in the morning. And for those guys who catch a train, it is infinitely better to catch a less packed train. The second benefit is that waking up a little earlier is a little win to start off your day. Ex-Navy SEAL Lieutenant Commander Jocko Willink had a great interview with Casey Neistat where he talks about his book, Discipline Equals Freedom.
Let's say you're the most ultra-motivated guy in the world. When that alarm clock goes off, there's at least 50% of the time where you just, that soft little pillow is just caressing your head and you want to stay there. And it takes discipline to go, nope, I'm going to get up out of this bed and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And that discipline that you have at that moment, you win that fight. That's a big victory. And then that pattern will carry out throughout the day, because once you're up, well, now that I'm up, I might as well go work out because I'm already up and I feel good that I got up out of bed and I won that battle. Let me go win another battle. I'm going to go get it done. And then when you show up at the office and there's someone that's got a big box of donuts that they're giving away for free, by the way. So they're just sitting there. It's almost like an insult not to take them. But when you've already gotten up early, you had the discipline there, you already worked out, you had the discipline there, and now you see the box of donuts, you're like, no, I'm not gonna eat the donuts. No donuts. You're not gonna do it. And that discipline carries on throughout the day. So now you take that and you expand that out over a week and a month, and you end up with more discipline. And it starts with that simple act of getting up and getting out of bed in the morning.
And honestly, this matters the most on the days where you're not feeling it at all and you feel like crap. If I woke up just a little bit earlier before I had to head to uni, that is a little win. And because I woke up a little bit earlier, I had time to make my bed, which is another small win. And that also gave me the time to have a healthy breakfast in the morning before I head off, which is another small win. The game of life is cumulative, and small wins can spiral into more and more successes throughout the day. On the days that you're not feeling it at all, this can be your motivation to push you through just a little bit longer. The third benefit is that you have more time to get things done in the morning. If you have some extra chores to get done, the morning is a great time to get through these. After I read A Monk's Guide to a Clean House and Mind, I realized how important a clean environment is to our mental clarity. Have you ever thought about how the state of your room reflects the state of your life? It's always so much easier to concentrate when you aren't surrounded by dirt and distractions on your desk. So in the book, he talks about how cleaning should be done in the morning. Cleaning quietly while the silence envelops you before other people and plants awaken refreshes and clears your mind. So now that I have that extra hour in the morning, I always try to start it off by cleaning something small, even if it's just wiping the dust off my windowsill. And this is something else I got from the book as well, but I like to open my window in the morning and let the cold air in. And I take a moment to be grateful for that fresh, crisp morning air. So ultimately, when you're coming back home from work tired, you're coming home to one less task to do. That's one less bunch of dishes to wash or one less house to sweep. And that means that you can use your evenings to wind down and relax. You could exercise, you could walk your dog, you could watch some Netflix, or you could just catch up with your friends and family without all of that added stress. The fourth benefit is that your mental health will improve. A study involving 100 participants with an average age of 19 showed that early risers were 50% less likely to suffer from repetitive negative thinking, which involved behaviours such as worrying, ruminating, and obsessive thinking. And this is important because these kinds of behaviours have been associated with major depressive disorder and general anxiety disorder as well. That said, the number of hours of sleep is much more important. There's a lot more evidence linking a lower duration of sleep to behaviours such as rumination and decreased mood. So if you want to wake up early, make sure you don't do it at the cost of your sleep. In my last video, I talked about how we have genetic differences which predispose us to be morning larks or night owls. And it's estimated that 12 to 42% of our chronotype is determined by genetics. We can't change our biology, but moving our clocks back 1 hour from what's natural to us is completely possible, and it's been linked to better mental health as well. And the last benefit is that you'll probably get better sleep. So when you wake up early, you naturally get tired earlier as well, which means that you don't have to force yourself to go to sleep. During the uni term, I try to wake up at 6:30, even if I'm not going into hospital. And I wake up at 5:30 when I do have to go into hospital and I have to make my rounds at 8 AM. And during the semester, I can usually fall asleep within 10 minutes. I'm literally out like a light. But then during the holidays, when my sleep patterns go down the drain and I start sleeping later and waking up earlier, I find it really hard to actually fall asleep. So yeah, I find that waking up earlier helps me get better sleep. It's a win-win. And that's the end of the video, guys. If you like this video, check out my other video on why you shouldn't wake up so early. Thumbs if you enjoyed it, subs if you loved it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.